Welcome to another edition of Sean's View Entertainment on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe with major developing details as it concerns the situation between Jim Ross and Vince McMahon. And I guess in a video that I did earlier before this one saying that, oh, you know, there's probably no conflict. You know, McMahon and JR left on good terms. I'm sure everything got settled and there wasn't no heat on Jim Ross. I was proved wrong. I'll admit when I was wrong, I was wrong. I guess McMahon and JR have a difference of opinion, and I guess there was heat because here is a crucial update to Jim Ross retiring from the WWE. The link, the source, the proof is in the description of this video. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter just released a breaking audio update and has provided even more information on the developing story of Jim Ross and his retirement from the WWE earlier today. According to Meltzer, JR met with Vince McMahon in Connecticut last night. All but a handful of Vince's inner circle had any idea why the meeting was taking place. So there was already speculation. There was already rumors starting at that point in time, but nobody knew exactly what it was about. But we soon found out later on. The reason Jim Ross, and this is it, the reason why Jim Ross was let go, because everything before this video has been rumored. It has been hearsay. Everything before this video was just word of mouth, was just the talk. Here is the real 100% reason. The reason why Jim Ross was let go from WWE was due to his inability to control Ric Flair at the WWE 2K Sports panel that took place the night before SummerSlam. As was noted earlier, there was talk of letting JR go the minute that the panel ended, as WWE felt he should have cut Flair off and regained control of the event. Meltzer further noted that the part of that panel that drew the most heat was for Flair when he made mention of his son Reed's death. Just a couple of weeks ago, during his Q&A session, Jim Ross over in the United Kingdom, Ross said he had no plans to retire from the WWE. So since when did Jim Ross have to look after Ric Flair? Since when did Jim Ross have to be the babysitter of Ric Flair? And you think you're going to control Ric Flair? If they knew that Ric Flair was under the influence of drinking and being out of his mind, and we know Ric Flair, once he gets drinking, once he gets going, you can't stop Ric Flair. And I thought this was a pretty entertaining thing. I mean, it looked as if JR was drinking, but he said he wasn't drinking, and that, you know, some other issues had happened before that, and yet he was drinking Snapple. Listen, if you don't know the WWE 2K14 panel that I'm talking about, well, you need to go look it up, because it was all about WWE 2K14. They were going over the game, going over the features in the game, and it's a good thing that Jim Ross, you know, already, did all the voiceovers in this game and everything, because if he hadn't, he would already got, you know, released or retired. And it's just a big, I don't know, this thing is just blown up more than what there's more to this than meets the eye, obviously. And I guess maybe McMahon and Jim Ross didn't leave on good terms. I don't know. It's a hell of a thing. I mean, I didn't expect this. I would have really thought that, you know, Ross and McMahon would have seen eye to eye and they would have left on good terms and things would have been good. But obviously, I was wrong, and Vince McMahon played a major role in this, and Ross didn't want to retire from the WWE. Jim Ross thought he probably had a long-term job, future for life job in the WWE, and then turns out McMahon, you know, like I said in the past, they've had a lot of ups and downs. They've had a lot of good times and bad times. There's been a lot of controversial moments. There's been a lot of heat between these two, but they've always seemed to overcome that. They've always seemed to man up and, you know, do what's best moving forward. But I guess this is just yet another issue that McMahon and Jim Ross have, but I don't see it being Jim Ross's fault about what happened at the WWE 2K14 video game panel the day of SummerSlam. I think emotions were high, things got out of hand, and the fact that I think they were just looking for a way for Jim Ross to get fired. I think they were waiting for that next thing to say, we're going to let JR go. And it's a hell of a thing, because if JR truly did want to stay there, and then he's forced to pretty much retire, because that's the agreement that McMahon and JR worked on, I'm sure it wasn't, you know, clear and cut, you know, well, this is it, I'm done, you know, no more Jim Ross, no more commentating, no more, you know, NXT, no more none of this. So, like I said, I'm kind of shocked by this, but then again, I really shouldn't be shocked knowing the past of Vince McMahon and Jim Ross. So, I guess things are a little shaky right now. Subscribe with your comments, your thoughts, and your opinions on the real reason Jim Ross has retired. Subscribe.